back to the channel and welcome back to yet another edition of Pokemon Thursday, the day of the week where we just watch Dan cross out video shit that he's already done today that he's, you know, can tick off the list and be like, well, that's done for today. We can go on to the next video thing that we've got to record. And then we just talk like an extremely old white man librarian. It's like, oh, you want to take out another Charles Dickens book? Let me see what we've got from the collection. That's what we're here to do today. Not really, haha, pranked once again. You always fall for it. You was like, I'll click on this Pokemon video and he's chatting about Charles Dickens. Did I say Charles Darwin or wasn't Charles Darwin like the fucking, we went from the monkeys into the peoples? Is that not, what, Oliver Twist and shit? Who did Oliver Twist? That bloke. That was Charles Dickens. And Charles Darwin was definitely, I was going to ask Google, but she's been a bit of a prick lately, not answering me. But yes, once again, I've pranked your videos. We're here for another superhero crossover. Once again, I don't know if this was ever a Superhero Wednesday video idea or a Pokemon Thursday. Somebody, if they can be bothered, go back however many years it's been and recap and say, Dan, you started for fucking Superhero Wednesday, but for whatever reason, you've just integrated the two. And a quick shout out, because we're here to do whatever, team for a comic character. Huge shout out to all of you lovely, beautiful bastards. You guys seem to really love the idea, the team ideas for certain comic book characters and whatnot. In terms of this extremely small channel, the videos fucking do amazing for us. They fucking do fantastic. They get a lot of love and support. Obviously, James comes on, a huge OG visual, giving us ideas and whatnot. He should have done this, should have done that. And he always comes up with some stellar shit. So thank you for everybody that comes on at them videos. And we're not quite literally, I didn't have to take it. I didn't have to take it there, but I did. That's how easy my sense of humor is. But honestly, regardless, thank you so much for the love and support, and the love and support in general, but just for enjoying the videos. And if there is anybody, whether I've heard of them or not, I will try my hardest to get a new team for them or whatever. Anybody you want, someone in the future, because like I said, I don't think we've ever done someone like a Luke Skywalker, who's definitely been in comics, or I don't think we've done something like crazy like a Man-Thing or something like a Moon Knight. So, you know, anybody you want to chuck out. Or I guess we can even class like manga because it's comic booky-esque. So if you wanted to do, you know, Goku or somebody, whoever you want in the comments below, let me know. Because we'll try our hardest to get it done and we'll get the conversation going. But anyway, today's team we are selected, well, today's comic book character who is getting a team is Red Hulk. Now, this one has a little bit of recency bias because obviously Captain America came out like a month or so ago, and he's been on my little list of ideas and what not to do. Plus, also as well, I recently watched a copy of Captain America, Schneiderly, and I thought, you know what, we're going to do Red Hulk this week. And I thought he was quick because I think we've done Hulk. I think this is quite a cool character to do a team for because, one, the idea of chucking out Red Hulk, who's got 6 Pokemon with him. But I've also kind of integrated Thunderbolt Ross-esque with Red Hulk. I'm just going to label it all Red Hulk, but some of these are Thunderbolt Ross-esque. Well, not even some of them, quite, maybe even half of them, esque choices. So yes, visuals. My Pokemon team for the Red Hulk / Thunderbolt Ross. Please let me know yours in the comments below. I'm ready for you to score me and correct me and prove me why you're so much better and you guys should go off and do these videos instead of me. But here we go, visuals. Thunderbolt Ross, Red Hulk's Pokemon team starting anew. We know that when I come to do these videos, I always like to have some sort of I like to try and integrate a little bit of a story, or if you imagine you're seeing a clip from a film or you're reading a couple of panels in a comic book. And I always like to try and chuck in stuff that's not impacts them as their character, but their characters that support them or attach to them. And I've gone for Cleffa. And the reason why I've gone for Cleffa is, one, the idea that a big, massive Red Hulk chucks out a Cleffa, but it's Thunderbolt Ross's Red Hulk connection to Betty, because obviously we're in a world where comic book characters and Pokemon coexist in this little hypothetical we've created, and we know that Thunderbolt Ross and Betty's relationship can sometimes be a bit, it's, you know, obviously we've gone down different routes of crazy shenanigans have happened to Betty, you know, Red Hulk shenanigans, all this kind of stuff. Well, Red She-Hulk, sorry. But we're in a world where they're still estranged, I think that's the word you use, and he wants some sort of attachment to her. And maybe as a kid growing up, when he was, you know, coming home for a little bit, but then off doing his army shit and doing all this kind of stuff, and maybe not spending enough time with her or whatever, he maybe brought her a Cleffa. Maybe Cleffas don't exist in this part of the world they live in this Pokemon region. And he brought her one over as like a thingy. It's, you know, it's her gift. And her and Cleffa went on to do all kinds of crazy things as she's grown up to become a scientist or whatever it is she's doing. And she's living a life and smashing it. And the Cleffa is a connection for Thunderbolt Ross and Red Hulk to get back to Betty. So, you know, maybe one day Thunderbolt Ross has a full team of 5. Well, a team of 5, sorry, not full team, but a team of 5. And he sees a Cleffa wandering, and it just, maybe one day it calms him down, gets him back to Thunderbolt Ross, and he catches it just because it's like it's a connection to him and back to Betty and whatnot. But I quite like that idea. I quite like the idea of this cute little, in regards to the power of the Red Hulk, insignificant thing, but he's attached to it. And like, obviously, it would never evolve or anything like that. He'll always sit and protect it. He might bring it out when he's just missing Betty, and it's like a little connection to his daughter. So yeah, I've gone for Cleffa. Next up, I needed a fire type, but more specifically, I needed a Pokemon that is basically just lava, and I've gone for Macargo. Now, the reason why I've gone for lava is not because, oh, Red Hulk, it's red and red's hot. When the Red Hulk does transform, he does let off like this crazy amount of heat, and he is capable of melting things around him, his surroundings and all that kind of shit. So it had to be fitting. It was quite fitting that I needed a lava type. I'm just getting all my words wrong now. A Pokemon that represents lava and heat and all this kind of shit. So, of course, I went for Macargo. I also like that it's a rock type, you know, rock, sturdy, hard, all that kind of shit. The Red Hulk being a big, you know, rock hard. It's not dirty, but, you know, rock, just hard fucker. So Macargo coming out of battle with him, you know, Thunderbolt Ross has just transformed and changed, and he's melting his surroundings. Macargo's out. Macargo, he doesn't just melt its surroundings, but I'm assuming it will be capable of, because it is just lava with a shell on its back and all that kind of stuff. So the big fiery red lava boys together, it makes sense to me. I've kind of ripped off LT Surge, Lieutenant Surge a little bit here, because I've gone for Raichu. Now, when I think of Pokemon, yes, we know the big Pokemon War. There was an army of different Pokemon. We know that Steelix is in there. There was Rhyperiors and shit. But when I think a Pokemon that would be fitting to be in an army, seeing it with a hat and a cigar, you know, a little army helmet and all that kind of shit, I go straight to Raichu. And I know that is primarily and purely because of Lieutenant Surge, but I thought, yes, Thunderbolt Ross doing his time and serving his time and going up the ranks of the army and all that kind of shit, we needed a Pokemon that best represents, so, you know, I could see sat with the bullets around its waist like that, like I said, a cigar and a hat. Maybe, you know, somebody had like an Ace of Spades in that hat, didn't they? Like, ready to go. I just see Raichu in that 110%. Again, sorry, repeat myself. It's very much LT Surge inspired. So yeah, I wanted an army sort of Pokemon to be by his side, and there probably will be more fitting Pokemon, but like I said, visually, I could just see a Raichu sat there waiting for its orders more than I can any other kind of Pokemon. So because of the army connection, because I can see it in my head, Raichu. Big old crazy mustache. We need a mustache Pokemon. Thunderbolt Ross, I know in the new film, you know, lose the mustache, lose the election. But Thunderbolt Ross, more traditionally, was always known, crazy mustache. I needed the ultimate mustache Pokemon. And that has to be Alakazam. There's a few Pokemon, Probopass, sorry, Nosepass. Yeah, Nosepass. If I just confuse Probopass and Nosepass. No, it's Probopass. Crazy mustache or whatever. But it's Alakazam's. Plus, not only that, I wanted a Pokemon that could have a bit of wit and maybe be a bit of a tactician and whatnot. On the side of Thunderbolt Ross, you know, say if Alakazam could help implement some tactical thoughts inside of his head. Or it could be a nice backup as well, because maybe psychically Alakazam could help calm down the Red Hulk. If, you know, Thunderbolt Ross could be like, if I ever go far too, you know, out of control, I need to calm down. I need you to connect to my brain and bring me down a little bit. Chuck out whatever psychic waves you need to do and all that kind of stuff. Plus, I think Thunderbolt Ross, the Red Hulk, would be a fighting/fire type. So it's a good little weakness to bring him down to calm him down. But I wanted him as this wise old tactician with his elegant mustache. You got the mustache guy like ready to fight, and the other one like, oh yeah, so if we attack from the east flank kind of shit. I wanted that connection. Alakazam, mustache buddies with Thunderbolt Ross. Obviously, you might, I don't know if anybody sat waiting for it, but somebody might be thinking, well, where's the strength? We need someone that represents his power, his strength, you know, the intensity. And what better way of arguably the strongest, I don't mean strongest and powerful, but like physically strongest Pokemon, Regigigas. Regigigas, in the world of Pokemon, known to be the one to make the continents and form the continents and move land and all this kind of shit. And I thought the Red Hulk, for me, and Thunderbot Ross would 110% respect that. Especially Regigigas might be just sort of silently stood behind him, just ready to just beep, boop, boop, and then just go and move shit. But the idea of Red Hulk being there, you know, super strong, they could, you know, train together, they could wrestle and, you know, try and outstrength each other, practice for upcoming fights against the Hulk or whoever he's going to scrap. And him and Regigigas just being these two massive men mountains that just cannot be moved because you've got this guy that made the continents, the fucking Red Hulk, burning shit at the same time and whatnot. I needed something that represented the Red Hulk's absolute crazy strength and, you know, just shenanigans like that. Yes, Regigigas hasn't got the biggest of arms, but he can move shit. So yeah, I went for Regigigas for his sheer strength. And this one might be a little bit on the nose and a little bit obvious, but I had to go there, and it's Red Gyarados, and it's purely because of the red. This one doesn't have any deep connections or any deep sort of, you know, Thunderbot Ross did this and, you know, Red Gyarados or Gyarados, the story of Magikarp, up the waterfall, transfer. There's none of that shit there. It's just, I think the idea of Red Hulk stood there and this Red Gyarados, again, with its own sort of rage, and we know obviously the story of why the Magikarp would transfer, you know, getting evolved too early, and, you know, that's how the Red Gyarados and stuff was formed. Well, at least that's that backstory. The idea of this angry sort of just red thing stood next to this other equally just as scary, intimidating, more serpenty-like red thing, just with its face of, I'm gonna fucking hate you, you little bastard. And of course, Thunderbot Ross wouldn't have caught Magikarp. He went out and straight away got a Red Gyarados as well, just so you know visuals. He didn't get no Magikarp. He ain't about that Magikarp life. Yes, he's weak with Cleffa, but that's connection to Betty. Magikarp, he'd be like, no, it's weak and puny. But yeah, stood side by side, this Red Gyarados. And if you want to let it Mega Evolve, it can Mega Evolve. We don't mind. If it wants to Mega Evolve, it can. But just stood side by side with Thunderbot Ross, just ready to rock and roll. You got this heat, and then you got this massive red thing ready to Hydro Pump against your face or your mons. I think it's fittingly beautiful. Fittingly beautiful? And hopefully Dan has put his team somewhere across. Dan has put the Red Hulk's team. Why am I speaking? Hopefully I've put the Red Hulk and the Red Hulk's team down below. Let me know which ones you would disagree on, who you would change, who you would add in. I love so much the Cleffa idea. The Makaga one makes sense. Do you see Raichu as the army mon like I do? Maybe I'm on my own on that one. We needed a mustache mon, and fight me on this. Alakazam has the most fantastic of mustaches. Regigigas, big powerhouse, and Red Gyarados, he just looks the part. You could just see him, you know, like we've got the Journey Together set that's just recently come out. Not at the time of recording, but at the time this video goes live, just come out. So you could get a card of, you know, Red Hulk and his, Red Hulk and his Red Gyarados, or just Red Hulk and Shiny Gyarados, whatever you want to name it. And I think it would make some really cool pictures and some cool artworks. But there's his team. I think we've done an all right job this week, but I can't wait for you lot to school me. There we have it, visuals. Another edition of Superhero Pokemon Thursday, giving comic book characters their very own Pokemon team. I have got another one planned for... Do we have one? No, not next week, but I think the week after. Where's my other notes? I think next week I've got something to do with Invincible, and then the week after I think we're going to be doing... who have I said? Oh, we've got a feline from DC as a little spoiler for the next 2 weeks coming up. 2-ish weeks. But more importantly, visuals, once again, thank you so much for the love and support and all that shenanigans and all the interactions and conversation on these particular videos. You guys are fucking amazing. But more importantly, thank you so much for watching. Remember to always keep being you and keep on keeping on.